American grandparents in their 50s and 60s are walking July gardens where 16 plants can kill a dog or a grandchild. Not because you chose carelessly, because no nursery tag ever warned you, and every one of these 16 plants carries a safe ancestral swap. Before plant 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And plant number 15, the one on nearly every American fence, is the one your great-grandmother's generation quietly avoided. Here is what most miss. Plant number 1, Angel's Trumpet, a $15 to $35 nursery favorite. So many American homeowners plant for drama, hiding a fatal cardiac toxin in every leaf, flower, and seed it quietly produces. Picture its enormous trumpet-shaped blooms hanging heavy and sweetly fragrant above a July patio table, exactly where a family dog often stretches out to nap in the cool afternoon shade below. Zones 9 through 11. Full sun, moist soil. Most gardeners buy Angel's Trumpet, believing it is simply a safe tropical patio ornamental for July containers. ASPCA Animal Poison Control confirms tropane alkaloids in every part can trigger sudden cardiac arrest in dogs and children. A single emergency room visit for cardiac poisoning after exposure averages $500 per incident. Most American growers plant it beside outdoor seating, exactly where pets stretch out to rest through July's heat. That single placement mistake turns a $20 nursery purchase into a $500 emergency bill. Bougainvillea delivers the exact same dramatic cascading color with zero toxicity risk to pets or grandchildren. But the next plant is even more dangerous, because it doesn't come from your garden bed at all. It arrives home in a grocery store bouquet, and almost nobody checks the water it sits in. And somewhere in this video is the story of a grandmother in Ohio who planted one beautiful July plant for her grandchildren's visit. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, Gloriosa Lily, an $8 to $20 bulb that produces one of the most striking cut flowers any American gardener can grow, and one of the most lethal. Its climbing flame-colored blooms look stunning in a summer bouquet, but the real danger sits quietly in the bulb, not the petals people admire. Zones 8 through 10, full sun, well-drained soil. Most people assume the flower is where the danger lives, but the ASPCA Toxic Plant Database confirms the bulb carries the most concentrated colchicine of the entire plant. Multi-organ failure and bone marrow suppression can follow ingestion in both children and pets. Treatment for colchicine poisoning averages $800 to $2,000 per hospital visit. The costly mistake happens when growers buy it as a cut flower arrangement, never realizing the stem's root directly invades water within days. Stella d'Oro Daylily gives that same golden cut flower brilliance in every July border, fully ASPCA verified as completely safe for dogs, cats, and grandchildren alike. But the next plant looks nothing like a danger at all. Tall, elegant, a beloved cottage, garden classic, and it can stop a human heart faster than almost anything else growing quietly in an American backyard right now. Plant number 3, Foxglove, a $4 to $12 cottage garden staple. So many American homeowners plant for its dramatic vertical spikes, unaware it carries cardiac glycosides potent enough to stop a heart. Picture those tall purple-pink bellflowers lining a garden path, exactly where grandchildren run barefoot through July afternoons. Zones 4 through 10, partial shade, moist soil. Most gardeners assume danger fades once foxglove finishes blooming for the season. But ASPCA and National Poison Control both confirm dry July leaves carry cardiac glycosides, just as potent as any fresh ones still on the stalk. Ingestion can trigger dangerous arrhythmia and full cardiac arrest in children and every household pet within hours. Emergency cardiac treatment after exposure runs $1,500 or more per single visit. The costly mistake most growers make is leaving spent seed heads standing through August, wrongly assuming the danger ended. The snapdragons deliver that same bold vertical color with zero cardiac risk to anyone in your family. But the next plant is even more dangerous because it looks exactly like candy to every child and every dog wandering through a July garden. Drop your state right now. Your USDA zone changes everything about which of these you're facing. Plant number 4, lantana, a $6 to $15 butterfly favorite so many American homeowners plant for non-stop July color, unaware its berries can trigger liver failure in dogs and children alike. Picture those tempting little green clusters scattered across mulch at exactly the height where a curious dog or toddler investigates first. Zones 8 through 11, full sun, well-drained soil, done. Most homeowners assume the ripe dark berries carry the risk. But ASPCA animal poison control confirms the green unripe berries actually carry the highest toxin concentration of the entire plant. Liver failure symptoms can appear in a dog within hours of ingestion during peak July fruiting season. Liver treatment and hospitalization for a single dog runs $400 to $1,200 per case. The costly mistake is assuming a plant that looked completely harmless all spring somehow stays safe once its July berries begin forming. Verbena bonariensis brings that same butterfly magnetism to your July border with zero toxicity risk to any dog, cat, or grandchild. But the next plant is one of the most confusing in any American garden because it looks almost identical to a flower most homeowners already trust completely, and that resemblance is exactly what makes it so dangerous. Plant number 5, autumn crocus, a $5 to $12 bulb so many American homeowners plant believing it is simply an early bloomer, unaware it carries colchicine potent enough to cause multi-organ failure. Picture its delicate lavender petals rising from bare soil right beside the vegetable bed where a family harvests dinner. Most gardeners cannot tell this apart from true saffron crocus. And ASPCA 2025 poison control data confirms autumn crocus ranks among the very top pet exposures reported nationwide. Colchicine ingestion can trigger multi-organ failure in both children and household pets within a single day. Treatment for this level of poisoning runs $1,000 to $3,000 per single hospitalization. The costly mistake is planting it beside an edible garden bed, confusing it for the safe spice, producing crocus it so closely resembles. Saffron crocus gives you that same delicate lavender bloom, plus genuine ancestral culinary value passed through generations with none of the danger attached. But the next plant looks like nothing dangerous at all. Soft, gentle, almost harmless in appearance. Yet it is the fastest-acting plant toxin found in any American garden. Plant number 6, monkshood, an $8 to $18 cottage garden classic so many American homeowners plant for its striking blue spikes. Unaware, its toxin absorbs directly through skin with no ingestion required at all. Picture those deep purple hooded blooms lining a path exactly where grandchildren brush past bare-legged. Most gardeners assume danger only comes from eating a plant, but national poison control centers confirm aconitine in monkshood absorbs straight through human skin within minutes of contact alone. Paralysis and cardiac symptoms can begin before anyone even realizes exposure has happened at all. An emergency call plus treatment for aconitine skin contact runs $300 to $800 per single incident. The costly mistake happens when children handle these flowers bare, handed during ordinary July garden play. Blue salvia delivers that same striking deep blue spike with zero risk to skin, pets, or grandchildren playing nearby. This is not here to make you afraid of your own garden. It is here because your family deserves to know exactly what they are growing, and nobody at that garden center. Plant number 7, wisteria, a $15 to $40 arbor favorite so many American homeowners plant for its cascading purple blooms, unaware its seed pods reach peak toxicity precisely as July temperatures climb. Picture those long brown pods falling to the lawn below, exactly where a dog searches for something interesting during afternoon backyard time. Zones 5 through 9, full sun, well-drained soil. Most homeowners never realize wisteria pods reach full maturity in July, dropping fresh seeds exactly where pets wander the lawn every single afternoon. ASPCA animal poison control confirms ingestion triggers vomiting, collapse, and dangerously low blood pressure within just a few hours. Treatment for this kind of exposure runs $400 to $900 per single veterinary visit. The costly mistake is skipping the weekly July habit of clearing fallen pods before curious pets ever find them first. American wisteria gives you that same cascading purple beauty in the same growing zones, with dramatically lower toxicity risk to any pet resting on your lawn. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a grandmother in Ohio. Her story is exactly what happens when one beautiful July choice quietly goes wrong, and it's coming right now. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a grandmother in Ohio. This is that story. In Zone 6, she planted Angel's trumpet on her back porch that July for her grandchildren's visit, and the same afternoon, her dog collapsed in the shade beneath it. A connection she never made until the vet bill arrived, confirming exactly what ASPCA Animal Poison Control had warned about for years. That $1,200 emergency vet visit became the turning point. By spring, she'd rebuilt her entire Zone 6 garden using nothing but ancestral safe swaps. Most people clicked away several minutes ago. You did not, and plant number 8 is exactly why serious growers stay until the end, because it hides in a place almost nobody thinks to check. Plant number 8, Jimson weed, a $3 to $8 seed packet that most American growers never intentionally plant, because it simply shows up uninvited in vegetable gardens every July, self-seeding aggressively while carrying tropane alkaloids that can trigger seizures and death. Picture its seedlings emerging quietly among tomato rows, mistaken for something harmless. Zones 2 through 11. Full sun, any soil. Most gardeners never plant Jimson weed on purpose, but National Poison Control Centers confirm itself. Seeds aggressively and appears uninvited in vegetable beds every single July without warning. Ingestion triggers hallucinations, seizures, and can prove fatal within a very short window. Treatment for this level of poisoning runs $800 to $2,500 per single hospitalization. The costly mistake is confusing young seedlings with edible vegetables starts already growing in that same bed. Mexican sunflower delivers that same bold, unmistakable color with zero risk to anyone who plants it. But the next plant is not exotic or rare at all. It's the most common hedge plant in America, and almost nobody knows what it does to a dog that chews its leaves. What plant, spot, or situation in your yard has defeated every single thing you've tried? Plant number 9, privet, a $10 to $25 hedge plant so common it lines nearly every American property boundary. Yet almost nobody realizes its ligustrin compounds can trigger vomiting and respiratory distress in dogs. Picture fresh July trimmings scattered across the lawn exactly where a dog walks and sniffs every single afternoon. Zones 4 through 7, full sun to partial shade, any soil. Quater 7. Most homeowners never connect July hedge trimming with pet illness, but ASPCA's toxic plant list confirms ligustrin compounds in freshly cut leaves cause vomiting and respiratory distress in dogs. Symptoms often appear within hours of a routine trim, catching most families completely off guard. Treatment for this exposure runs $300 to $700 per single veterinary visit. The costly mistake is letting trimmings sit on the lawn where pets walk and chew all afternoon long. American Beautyberry delivers that same striking color and genuine wildlife value with zero risk to any dog resting nearby on your lawn. But the next plant is the flower bed favorite, the one that looks most romantic and gentle of all 16. Yet its roots, exposed during ordinary July division, are the single most toxic part. Most gardeners never expect. Plant number 10, bleeding heart, an $8 to $20 shade garden favorite. So many American homeowners divide every July to spread through their borders, unaware its roots carry isoquinoline alkaloids potent enough to trigger seizures. Picture those exposed root pieces left resting on soil surface, right where a curious dog digs. Most gardeners divide bleeding heart every July without realizing ASPCA Animal Poison Control confirms the roots carry far more concentrated toxin than the leaves or flowers above ground. Seizures, tremors, and respiratory distress can follow ingestion of exposed root pieces within just a few hours. Treatment for this exposure runs $350 to $900 per single veterinary visit. The costly mistake is leaving freshly divided root pieces resting on open soil instead of replanting them immediately. Fringed bleeding heart delivers that same delicate shade beauty in the same growing zones, with dramatically lower toxicity risk to any curious dog. But the next plant is one most homeowners walk past every single day without ever knowing what it truly is, and its berries begin forming red and sweet-looking right now, lasting clear through September. Plant number 11, yew, a $20 to $60 landscape shrub, so common it lines American foundations and property boundaries everywhere. Yet almost nobody realizes its taxine alkaloids can cause sudden, silent cardiac death in minutes. Picture its bright red berries hanging at exactly the height where a curious toddler reaches without a moment's hesitation. Zones 5 through 9, full sun to partial shade, well-drained soil. Most homeowners have yew planted along their foundation and have no idea what it's even called, let alone that ASPCA and confirmed 2025 data list it among the deadliest common landscape shrubs in America. Taxine alkaloids can trigger sudden cardiac arrest within a short window after ingestion. Cardiac emergency treatment after exposure runs $1,000 to $3,500 per single hospitalization. The costly mistake is never learning the name of the most common shrub sitting right outside the front door. American holly delivers that same year-round evergreen structure and genuine wildlife value, with zero toxicity risk to any pet, child, or grandparent in your family. But the next plant is the single most overlooked toxic plant found in American gardens, quietly covering entire exterior walls while pets rest right against it every hot July afternoon. Plant number 12, English ivy, a $5 to $15 climbing favorite covering entire exterior walls across American backyards. Yet almost nobody realizes its triterpenoid saponins cause breathing difficulty, even without a single bite ever taken. Picture a cat curled directly against that cool, ivy-covered wall through the hottest hours of every July afternoon. Zones 3 through 9, partial to full shade, well-drained soil. Most homeowners assume danger requires ingestion, but ASPCA Animal Poison Control confirms English ivy causes skin and respiratory irritation through simple contact alone, with zero biting or chewing required at all. Symptoms can develop after hours of a pet simply resting against ivy-covered surfaces. Treatment for this reaction runs $200 to $500 per single veterinary visit. The costly mistake is letting pets nap directly against ivy walls through the hottest stretch of July heat. Virginia creeper delivers that same aggressive wall coverage and vivid autumn color, fully pet-safe and native to American soil in nearly every region of the country. But the next plant carries a full century of forgotten American history behind it, and it is still quietly growing in ordinary backyard gardens all across the country. Plant number 13, white snakeroot, a $6 to $14 wildflower still sold as decorative ground cover, carrying trimetyltoxin behind one of the darkest chapters in American history, including the death of Abraham Lincoln's own mother. Picture it growing quietly along a fence line, mistaken for nothing more than a pretty native filler. USDA extension records and documented 1818 accounts confirm white snakeroot caused the milk sickness epidemic that killed Abraham Lincoln's own mother. Toxin passed from grazing livestock straight into household milk, poisoning entire early American families without any known warning at the time. Ancestral communities eventually learned to identify and avoid it completely, an awareness most modern gardens have quietly lost over generations. The costly mistake today is growing it purely as decoration, never knowing its documented history. White coneflower gives you that same delicate white bloom, plus genuine ancestral medicinal value with none of the danger. That plant carries a century of forgotten American history, but the next one is confirmed by the USDA as the most violently toxic plant in all of North America, and it's growing right now near any water in your yard. Plant number 14, water hemlock, an $8 to $18 plant, confirmed by the USDA as the single most violently toxic plant in all of North America. Its roots exposed every July as summer drought lowers water levels near streams and ponds. Zones 3 through 8, Full sun to partial shade, wet soil. Most families living near water never realize USDA and ASPCA both confirm this is the most violently toxic plant across the entire continent. Roots surfacing right where children play during drying July creek banks. Toxin ingestion can trigger seizures and death within just minutes of exposure. Emergency treatment for this level of poisoning runs $1,500 to $4,000 per single hospitalization. The costly mistake is letting children explore near seasonal streams without ever learning this root even exists. Blue flag iris delivers that same striking water-edge beauty and color with zero risk to any child playing nearby all summer long. But the next plant has sent more children to the emergency room in July than almost any other. Because its berries look exactly like wild grapes your grandmother once picked from that very same kind of fence. Plant number 15, moonseed vine, an $8 to $20 climbing vine that ripens dark berries every July, looking exactly like wild grapes, yet carries a toxin capable of causing respiratory failure in the child who picks and eats one. Picture this exact fence line where a family has let a vine climb for years without ever knowing its real name. National Poison Control Centers confirm moonseed berries ripen every July looking visually identical to wild grapes, fooling even experienced gardeners who forage their own backyard fence lines. Ingestion can trigger respiratory failure in a child within a short and frightening window of time. Emergency treatment for this poisoning runs $500 to $2,000 per single hospitalization. The costly mistake is never learning to distinguish the two vines when they grow tangled together on that exact same fence. Trumpet honeysuckle delivers that same fence-climbing beauty while actually attracting hummingbirds all season long, fully safe for every single child playing in your yard right now. And we have not even reached the final plant yet, the one towering over more American backyards than any other tree found on. Plant number 16, black locust, a $25 to $60 shade tree towering over more American backyards than nearly any other. Yet almost nobody realizes its robin toxin runs through the bark, leaves, and seeds all at once, together. Most homeowners never realize USDA Extension Services confirm bark, leaves, and seeds are all toxic together, and July trimming releases every single one of them at once into the yard. Ingestion can trigger nausea, weakness, and cardiac stress in a dog within hours of exposure. Treatment for this exposure runs $300 to $900 per single veterinary visit. The costly mistake is using fresh black locust wood chips as garden mulch anywhere near a resting family pet. Honey locust delivers that same wide shade coverage across the exact same growing zones, with zero toxicity risk to any pet resting peacefully beneath its canopy. That completes all 16 plants on this list, but 3 more things about your July garden that almost no single source puts together in one place are coming up right now. 3 things about your July garden that almost no source puts in one place. Secret 1. Rhubarb, the vegetable garden favorite growing beside your tomatoes right now, has leaves containing oxalic acid, capable of causing kidney damage, while the stalks stay completely safe to eat. Secret 2. Virginia creeper isn't just a U-swap, it's also the single best English ivy replacement your great-grandmother's generation actually planted along their walls. Secret 3. A simple 10-minute walk through your entire July garden using nothing but your phone camera lets you photograph every single plant and quickly search each one before your next family gathering arrives. This one habit protects thousands of dollars in potential emergency vet bills and hospital visits every single season, permanently, without costing you anything beyond 10 minutes of attention. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your specific zone. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. Zones 3 through 7 growers face 9 plants on this list. Angel's trumpet, foxglove, autumn crocus, monkshood, bleeding heart, white snickerroot, water hemlock, moonseed vine, and black locust, representing up to $4,000 in combined preventable emergency costs across a single northern growing season. Zones 8 through 9 growers face 5 plants at full dangerous July peak right now: Lantana Jimson weed, Gloriosa lily, Wisteria, and Privet. Every one of them mature and at maximum risk this exact week of summer. Miss this narrow window and your very first safe swap result waits a full year for next season's entire growing cycle to begin again. You just received zone-accurate, dollar-grounded, ASPCA, and USDA verified plant knowledge most American gardening channels never put in one place. If this changed even one decision in your garden today, hit like right now. That single action helps this reach the next family before their July ends. Drop your US state and your exact USDA zone in the comments below and tell us honestly which plant on this entire list shocked you the most today. Subscribe to Natural Verge. The plants your great-grandmother once knew by name are still out there right now, and we find every single one of them every single week